as you said, all the few devotees of the Lord from Krishna Leela came for us in Gaura Leela. How the Lord and the pure devotees are constantly watching us, wanting to be there for us. The portion of the bhakti is by the pure devotees. Bhagavan does the portion of bhakti, nourishment of bhakti through the pure devotees. How all these branches are there. Very nice. Very nice. Each one of them. How wonderful. How wonderful in their own way. And clearly, Vasudeva Datta. And yes, Yusna Mataji, that's Ranti Deva in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the shloka, Ranti Deva's words also, very similar to Vasudeva Datta. They are so very naturally, with no efforts, no trying, their consciousness is just fixed in, how do I relieve the pain of others? So that is the kind of compassion that generates from devotion. Yesterday we posted, right, in WDC, the compassion that originates from goodness and the compassion that generates from devotion. It looks the same. Like, when we do the cooking, the food we eat, if we don't offer it to Krishna, sattvic food, if not offered to Krishna, it looks the same, sattvic food, people are eating. But the same sattvic food, when it is offered to Krishna, and then people are eating it, it looks like sattvic food, but it is more than sattvic food. That is prasad. The same way, the goodness, the kindness, the compassion that comes from the heart of a devotee who is carrying Krishna, that compassion is born from the devotion. And the compassion or kindness that somebody else has, who is not practicing devotion, and even the animals also, they have great compassion. So when the herd of elephants are walking, and if one of the elephants just falls in a ditch like that, the rest of the elephants and the animals also close by, not just elephants, but the animals also close by, if there are giraffes and if there are anything else like that, they come, they see how to bring this elephant that fell in the ditch, how to bring that out so the pain of the elephant is mitigated. That's a natural reaction of all the living entities. If the elephants have, if the giraffes have, then it's the same thing the human beings also have and should have. Unfortunate, in Kali Yuga, it's not seen so much. Sad. But so that kind of compassion is natural for all living entities, which is being born from the mode of goodness that is present in the Brahmanda. So that compassion is there. So the compassion that is born from goodness, because the modes are limited and because goodness does not prevail for a long time in this world, which can be overtaken by passion and ignorance. That is why that compassion is called conditioned and limited. And the flavor of Krishna is lacking in that compassion that's born of goodness. Nevertheless, that is a very wonderful, heart-touching thing, compassion. And this compassion that is born from devotion, we are all devotees. So, how do we get there? How do we get there? It's such a wonderful, very fragrant quality, very frequent quality in devotion, compassion to others. So if I am, and if again we have this, by this time we are practicing devotion, we all have compassion, and generally that is born from goodness, unless we are rooted in, anchored in Guru and Kṛṣṇa, at least a little bit. Then that compassion that comes out is from Guru and Kṛṣṇa. So there can be mix of both in us. But how can this compassion that is coming from us be so unconditional? Like, so devotion that is born, compassion that is born from devotion. The example is like this: like a sandalwood tree. Sandalwood tree is very fragrant. Devotee is also fragrant with the qualities. And the sandalwood tree, when it is cut with the axe, it does not retaliate whoever is cutting the tree. It would not say anything. It is said that it happily gives away its wood to whoever it is cutting. So that kind of compassion, that is unconditional. That sandalwood tree is unconditionally giving that compassion. Even if you are cutting me, please take this wood, which is very fragrant, and please use it. Use it for the Lord. Like that, unconditional compassion, Vasudeva Datta. That is Trinadapi Sunichena, Arorave Sapishnana, Amanina Manadena. The compassion that is born from that platform is the compassion from devotion. Because to be able to have that depth of compassion, that Trinadapi Sunichena, feeling so humble, insignificant, and so tolerant that it is very natural of them. They don't even think like, oh, I am being hurt, I have to tolerate it. They are on such a platform that they don't necessarily feel the pain. That is Taroreva Sakishna. And Amanina Manadena is nothing for them. It's nothing for them. Amanina Manadena is it's like you ask somebody to speak their mother language, they don't have to struggle hard. It just comes out. So very natural. That's what they've been hearing and talking since a childhood. So you just ask and then mother tongue just comes out naturally, no effort. Like that for them, Amanina Manadena is nothing. And they're filled with humility and the joy of insignificance. And tolerating is not a big deal for them. It happens to them anyway, because they're so much focused on others wanting to benefit, like that. But these are not ordinary. The compassion that we see in this world doesn't belong to this category. See, somebody is being compassionate to somebody. You are hungry, okay, I want to cook the food and give it to you. Or you are hurt, yeah, you have leprosy, I'll clean your wounds, yeah, and start giving the food and start treating the body. If the leprosy patient, when this compassionate person is cleaning the wounds of leprosy patient, if the leprosy patient slaps on whoever is giving the care to him or kicks him, continuously kicks him, then if whoever is caring for this leprosy patient does not move a bit, and still very compassionate and want to clean the wounds for that leprosy patient. That is unconditional. That kind of compassion is not ordinary. It is not from the platform of goodness. It's from the platform of devotion, whatever religion it might be. Platform of devotion. So, to have that kind of compassion originating from devotion, where would this come from? Kirtaniya Sada Hari. The strength, the taste, the anchor that one gets in Kirtaniya Sada Hari, when somebody is anchored deeply in that Kirtaniya Sada Hari, always glorifying the Lord, that from that deep anchor, then the strength will come. And to have that kind of deep anchor at all times, there is great taste there. So then the strength is there, then the taste is there, and that's where that unconditional compassion, kindness of Vasudeva Datta, Rantideva is coming from, who are the great devotees. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. We could start from Kirtaniya Sada Hari to, and this naturally happens, so beautifully naturally happens even to us, dear devotees. Not just Vasudeva Datta and Rantideva, they are epitome of this. But for us, neophytes also, all these things, they naturally happen without trying, without faking. All those things, they naturally happen as much as we do Kirtaniya Sada Hari. We glorify the Lord at all times. Give the praise to the Lord. So if we are filled with that, if we are filling our consciousness with the Lord in that mood of glorification, that's where drops and drops and drops of infusion will happen within us, and the rest of the qualities that naturally come out. We don't even have to think or put separate effort. Yeah, I think I'll pause here, dear devotees. Thank you. And I have a question. You may please think and then share that tomorrow. Yeah. So, but before that question, anybody else, anything else in regarding what was said? Nitai Kun Prabhu, any other devotees? Is that okay? With that compassion born from devotion? If nothing, then we can go with the question.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah,
sure. Yes, Prabhu, yeah. So the question is, Krishna is in the Nama. Krishna is with us at all times. So what is it that is stopping us from being with Krishna in the japa and being with Krishna outside the japa? You may please think, you may please observe today. And if you already know, and if there is something that has helped you to take away that block that was stopping you from being with Krishna in japa or Krishna outside the japa, you may share that tomorrow. I'll repeat the question again. What is the block that you have? There can be many blocks, but see what the major block is. What is that major block that stops you, that obstructs you from being with Krishna in the japa, Krishna outside the japa? First part. Second is there something that has helped you to get that block away, the obstruction away from you and Krishna? So these two, you may please think and share it tomorrow. Sounds okay? Yeah? Good?
Yes.
Shall we pause you?
Yes.